Aloha and welcome to Live at the Legislature, where each week during this past legislative session, we've given you a chance to hear directly from state senators about what's going on here at the Capitol. We're in the final week of session, which means the Senate is wrapping up the year's measures while also looking back at what they've accomplished over the past few weeks. Joining me today is freshman Senator Drew Mamo-Kanuha, who's among those finishing up his first session as a senator. He represents the 3rd District, which includes Kona and Ka'u on the Big Island of Hawaii. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, Richard.
Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
This was your first session as a
Yes,
legislator,
yes.
but you brought broad experience, having served on the county council and also having served as a manager in business. Looking back, is there anything about the session that surprised you?
Not really surprising. I had a sense of how the legislature worked. I worked in the legislature in the past under Senator Clayton He, so it was a good experience to learn things of how he ran his chairmanship as the Judiciary and Labor Committees. And throughout the years, sure, I forgot exactly how the legislature went, but being a legislator at the Capitol is a whole different experience and a new experience. And having some experience on the county council kind of got me prepared of how to create bills, work with our community on creating the bills, working with other legislators on moving the bills forward. But this was definitely a unique experience. You gain the knowledge and the ability to work with your other senators, 25 of us,
Right.
but you have to also work with the House members, 51 on the other side to try to get the bills moving forward. So very unique experience, and definitely glad to get the first year POW and move on to the next year.
You also were immediately made part of leadership. You were the majority caucus leader, which means you were herding cats.
It's trying to get 24 of us in a room together, and everybody has unique experiences and unique ways of dealing with certain situations, but it was a lot of fun. We have a good group of individuals, and I'm proud to have been part of the leadership and part of the majority caucus and moving things forward.
When you compare that, I mean, as a staffer, you get kind of a different view of things than when you're in caucus. I mean, can you compare the two?
Oh yeah, as a staffer, you're running around doing everything that the senator or representative needs, trying to be on top of things, trying to be 2 steps ahead to make sure to prepare for anything that the senator would need. But being a legislator, I'm super proud to have great staff that help me any time I need anything to be able to do my job. So it's definitely a different experience, but I'm glad to have the ability to have been on both sides.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you're probably a little better boss having experienced the staff side.
Yeah, you got to treat your staff good. They're the ones that help you out, and you want to hopefully keep them throughout your term. So they're really working with you and helping you, and it's a team. It's a team. So.
Having seen the process up close, is there anything that you would change if it was up to you?
Working up here, having a very tight schedule at the legislature, session is only a few months out of the year. When we're on the council, you're working throughout the entire year. You have meetings every other week. Session, it's very tight schedule. So, how we move bills forward, how we have the ability to caucus with each other, to talk story with each other. I think that's extremely important in how this legislature works. The Sunshine Law on the council was very difficult for us to be able to talk with each other, and even going to meetings, we couldn't go to a meeting with more than if there was a majority of members present, we weren't able to be at the same meeting with each other. So that was really difficult. But up here, we have the ability to talk story with each other, to find out what everybody is, if there's any issues with certain things, and work out those issues. And that's what makes it good over here. Would I change anything? I don't know yet. I think I got to go through a few sessions to figure out if there's anything that I would want to change.
What about the interaction with the House? I mean, it seems like it gets to a certain point in the session where things start to get really complicated between the two of them. I mean, is there anything you can think of that might improve that relationship or improve the way the two work together?
It's always about building the relationships. I started that within the Senate, and you build the relationships to get your bills through, and I think that's a good quality to have when you work with the House members. Be able to work with each other. I think that's going to be the best way of moving things forward and finding common ground. That's what I've been trying to do. And we'll see what happens in the next year. The ability to work with each other is why, that's really how we get things done.
Looking specifically at this session, is there anything that particularly you were disappointed with? Any bills that didn't make it? Or?
Yeah, you always want to get certain projects done, and obviously you can't get everything you want. You got to share with everybody. Sure, there's a few housing initiatives that didn't go through, but I think as a whole, I think this session went pretty well in terms of some of my priorities moving forward. When we spoke previously on Live at the Legislature, I said one of the main priorities was the lifeguards at Kula Bay. Right. And it's been a priority of a couple of our members for the last several years, and finally we got to insert it into the budget, and now hopefully crossing my fingers at the very end of this, it comes out good. So many people have died in that area that it was desperately needed, and I'm glad to see it move forward.
So your district all did pretty well in terms of budget and projects that needed to be funded.
Yeah. Ka'u Hospital was a main priority, Kalake Elementary School with the new classroom, of course, lifeguards at Kula Bay, Konawaina High School and Elementary School, parks that got, their softball fields and facilities got put into the CIP budget. So there's a good amount of positive that came out of this session for our community. So I'm pretty happy with that.
And over the interim, how are you going to keep busy?
I'm gonna spend time with my family. I get to go back home and see my nephews that I haven't seen for a while, and do coffee hours and spend time with the community. It's pretty difficult to be a neighbor island senator where it's you got to go back during the weekends and you want to just sleep and not do anything. But now we have the ability to go back and really be with the community and go to the events that I'm missing since I'm up here at the Ledge.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We're out of time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Olelo, and thanks to the crew that have made this possible every week. We'll see you next time, live at the Legislature.